Welcome to the 9 News Trump Rally.
Good morning, everyone. It was a great night at the Denver Coliseum as we tipped off the Great 8 coverage of the girls basketball tournament. Now, we started with these two teams that didn't get past the Final Four last season. Only one will have the chance to redeem its performance. Regis needing to regroup here after trailing to Highlands Ranch 18-5 in the first quarter. It helps to have a sharpshooter like Avery Van Sickle. Gets the ball out on the wing, way beyond the college line and sinks it. How about another from the junior captain? This time, takes it inside the arc, stops, pops up the J. She's pumped up. But the Falcons stayed in this one with plays like this. Watch the handles. Filthy behind the back from Peyton Muma. Dishes beyond the defender. Sets up Sarah Mitchell for the lay-in. And they're just celebrating. The 6th seed Highlands Ranch Falcons take down number 3 Regis Jesuit 51-44. Muma says it's always good to beat the Raiders.
It's a big rival game. They're a really good team. They have amazing athletes like Jada Moore and Avery, and they're a great team. I'm happy we got to play in the Elite 8 and get some payback on them.
We'll get more Grade 8 coverage later, but let's see who else punches their tickets. Ralston Valley hosting Jeffco rival Columbine in the Sweet 16 Tuesday. The Mustangs hot from the start. Brooklyn Seymour knocks it out to McKenna Nichols in transition. She hits from long range. On the other end, Jessica Bolwan pulls up from the corner, connects on the three-pointer for the Rebels. But the early lead the Mustangs built was the key factor in this one. Seymour misses here, gets her own rebound on this play here, feeds Saya Sabis for the score. Ralston Valley rolls 65-32 over Columbine. Let's see who they play. Cherokee Trail brought the cheerleaders as they paid a visit to number 2 Cherry Creek in another Sweet 16 matchup. First half, Cougars hanging around. This will help. Mia Collins gets all the way to the basket and one on the finish. Creek responds. Stanford-bound Jana Van Geitenbeek doing her thing. Not one, but 2 crossovers. Finds Callie Clark. Layup is good. Bruins up 33 at the half. Second half here, more Van Geitenbeek takes it coast to coast. This time it's Abby Reed in the corner. Three-pointer is good. Defending champion Creek onto the Great 8 to face Ralston Valley with a 72-32 win. More on Jana Van Geitenbeek. The senior Bruin was named the Colorado Girls Basketball Player of the Year by Gatorade on Friday. The Stanford commit enters the Great 8 averaging 18.3 points, 7.7 assists, 3.9 rebounds, and 3.2 steals per game. Van Geitenbeek is a 2-time first-team All-State selection. Hey, could get her 3rd this year with Cherry Creek. She set the state record for career assists, eclipsing 595 in early February. It started out as a curiosity and then turned into a hobby. But now, 13-year-old Sydney Kennett is a champion in her unique sport. I took flight with the teenager to learn more about freestyle body flying. From the outside, Sydney Kennett is an ordinary 13-year-old. But the Sagewood middle schooler is hiding a pretty cool secret.
So a lot of my friends actually don't know that I skydive because I don't talk about it a lot because I'm kind of more of a shy kid at school.
Not just any skydiver, a competitive indoor skydiver.
You can like surprise people with it. They're like, oh my God, what is that? It's pretty cool actually.
It all started when she joined Kids Club at iFly Denver.
So wherever I move my hand, you're going to follow with both your hands at the same time. Does that make sense?
But she graduated much earlier than expected, and now she's the literal face of the company's flight school all over the country.
And at all the other tunnels around, like you're there, which is kind of cool. Like you got a little piece of yourself in every tunnel.
Kenna is one of the top indoor competitive skydivers in the freestyle category. It looks a lot like dance or a gymnastics routine, which she and her parents choreographed together.
Routines are like in the tunnel are just basically a bunch of tricks connected with like connecting moves. When I was in gymnastics, like you need a lot of body awareness and also you get a bunch of flexibility and strength from that. You have to know what's like going on. So like slight movements do a lot in the tunnel.
She's right about the slight movements. You see that flyer floundering on the ground? Yeah, that's me, understanding the sheer difficulty of just body flying in a tunnel, let alone winning a freestyle championship. But both Kenna and I had great teachers who now look to her as their mentor. She, of course, is the future of the sport.
They're the ones who taught me. Like some of them were here since I started. So it was pretty cool because they got to see my progression and like I can help them with stuff now and teach them.
Earlier, we showed you the tight upset of Highlands Ranch over Regis. You can see that online if you missed it. But how about a big win? Let's see this one right here. We need to catch up with Grandview for that one. The Wolves, they're used to this place. Runners up last year, champions the year before. Tamia Johnson, she's used to shots like that at 3-ball. Then she brings it down court here. The Wolves work it down into the paint for Lauren Betts. She knocks one off the glass. Grandview rolls over Fruita Monument 77-38 to advance to the semifinals. On to the boys' side. Still in the Sweet 16 here, the Thunderdome at Manual High School as Denver East hosted Regis. The Raiders, coming off the huge upset over Cherry Creek, start to show a glimpse of repeat near the end of the first half. Alonzo Paul gives Regis its first lead of the game before halftime. In the fourth, it's Patrick Steed hitting the clutch three-pointer for the Angels, but the Cinderella story isn't over for the Raiders. Kyle Sandler on fire late in the game, leading Regis to the 62-58 win over Denver East. The 29th seeded Raiders headed to the Coliseum for the Great Eight. They will play Grandview this afternoon for a spot in the Final Four.
Man, I feel happy. Our team played a great game. We went out there and we won. Nobody believed in us. We were 0-9 to start, and now we're going to the Final Eight. I can't be happier. Words can't describe it. It feels great. I'm happy that our team won. It was a great team win, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Defending 5A champs Rangeview fired up and dancing, ready to host number 16 Mountain Vista. And this will get the crowd going. Christian Speller with the steal, and he will not be stopped. One-man freight train with the dunk. Second quarter, Golden Eagles, Ben Bowen took over, drive after drive to the basket, no fear at all. He propelled Mountain Vista to a 27-24 lead. And thinking upset, but the Raiders, they want the trophy again. Plays like that will help. Christopher Speller finds Javon Wright for the BAM. And Rangeview wins 94-73. They face number 9 Columbine in the Great Eight later today. A big one in the Sweet 16 matchup, Chaparral versus Smoky Hill. Let's go right to overtime. Quentin Rock on the steal, takes it the length of the court, finishes with the lay-in. Down the other way, Chaparral trailing by 3. Jeremiah Coleman gets it out in the corner here on the wing, drills the triple. Chaparral ties it at 71 apiece. This one goes back and forth, but watch this. Connor Ruth in the corner nails the 3. That gives the Wolverines the lead they need, and they will not give it back. Final moments here. Smoky Hill can't get the final shot to fall. Chaparral wins it 85-82, the final in overtime. Next up, Boulder. Vista Peak Prep. Bison visiting the number 2 Fairview Knights in this 5A Sweet 16 matchup. Start in the second quarter. Bison keeping the first half close. Curtis Stovall, the third, with the long three-pointer. Vista Peak would trail by 4 at the half. But the Knights would go on a 16-0 run to start the second half. Fairview with the great ball movement, finding Grayson Carter with the basket and the foul. He finishes the game with a high 15 points. Knights pull away with a win, 61-38. Fairview will play Chaparral next. It was an extremely packed and rowdy gym at Meade High School Wednesday night for the Sweet 16 matchup between crosstown rivals Meade and Silver Creek. High-flying Mavericks were up to their thrilling dunks in the first half, with Trey Ward and Jacob Bartholomew stealing the show for the Mavericks. The Raptors were not fazed, though, by the number 1 seeded Mavericks on their home court. Silver Creek sophomore standout Tanner Call would have a great game working the paint here. Let's see him here. Call had 16 points on the night, helped his team take a rare lead against the heavily favored Mavericks with 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Raptors took a 56-54 lead on this three-pointer by senior Andrew Duquette right there. That sent Creek crowd into a frenzy, but Meade would respond big time. Senior Will Maher hit several clutch three-pointers down the stretch, finished with 19 points for the game. Mavericks would go on a 15-0 run late in the fourth and win the game 75-63. Moving on to today's Great Eight game against Lincoln. Here's an update to a story we brought you last week. Denver South's Carly Dilworth is in the final days of voting for the March Madness three-point contest. If she wins, she'll compete in Atlanta during the Final Four. At last check, Dilworth had 49% of the vote, so she really needs that help heading into the Monday deadline. So go to amfam.com/fanvote or follow the link on my Twitter. You can find me at Ariel Orsuto. And if you want to see your videos right here or in the honor roll, you're in the right place. We love seeing the videos you guys send in every week. Now you know where to find us. Hit us up at sports@9news.com or find us at social media.